Well, it is another episode of Space Coast Eats. Welcome, everybody. It is a Thursday afternoon, and as always, around this time, we like to go live here on Facebook. And in the studio, of course, lovely Darlene is here with eatdrinkplaybrevard.com. And as always, we always appreciate the share, the love, the likes, the comments, and everything else that we invite you to do while we're live here on Facebook. And of course, if you're listening to this after the fact on your favorite podcast platform, well, there you go. And come and join us, anytime on a Thursday afternoon. And you could sit back, relax, and view the behind the scenes as we go live here on our Facebook stream. Well, we have quite a delightful guest. I think we're in store for quite the treat. Speaking of treats, I'm already looking at a table filled with awesome treats.
Yeah.
Before we get started, Darlene, tell us what's going on. How you been?
I've been great. How about yourself? It's hot though.
Well, it is.
Are you like
summer in Florida?
I know.
Yeah.
You know, for some reason, I was thinking like July, August were the hot months.
No.
But it really is September. Augusty, September, right?
August, September tend to be the worst.
You could fry an egg out there.
You could fry an egg, yes, absolutely. And you better be careful because you may overcook it really quick. Like it's more than hot. It feels warm. But I still drink hot coffee.
I do too. I'm all about it.
And soup. I still have warm soup too. I know you're supposed to have like gazpacho and like ceviche, but no, I'm all about like some good warm old fashioned soup. So the hot only allows you to affect you as much as you let it affect you, right? So
right. And I think if you're from Florida, it doesn't bother you as much.
Par for the course. It'd be really weird if it was cold right now.
Exactly.
And that's why the tropics are heating up. As we like to say, August, September, even into October, the tropics are still very alive and well. So,
Nana's the next one. We've talked about Nana. She's the one that's coming up.
Nana's in Belize already.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, I think she's already made landfall over there near the Yucatan.
So my prediction that she was the big one this year is not going to...
Yeah, Nana's...
I'm glad we didn't place too much money on that one.
And Omar's out to sea, and I think whatever is behind him. So we're already in the O's.
Okay.
Although they said that it was the earliest N on record.
Okay.
N storm. I don't
Interesting.
know. Hey,
all
listen, we're just into September.
There you go. This
is my last podcast as a 42-year-old.
Yeah. It's somebody's B-Day.
It is. I celebrate the big 4-3 tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
Right ahead of a very fun, long Labor Day weekend. Mm-hmm. So, here, right?
Yes,
Yay.
Happy birthday to Jesse.
Somebody find me out and about and buy me a drink,
Yeah.
Or a taco.
A taco.
Yeah, why not?
A bourbony drink.
Oh, yeah.
That would even be better,
Old
right?
fashions, Manhattans, on the rocks, of course. I don't need a foo-foo, stemmed up drink, unless it's like really good. If it's like Pappy,
you won't turn it down.
I'll give it to me in a snifter. That that's just fine. Fine.
I don't blame you there.
I've had a fun week though. I had lunch at the Apocalypse Coffee Roasters. Very, very nice today.
You've had lunch like all over town this week.
Yeah. Well, the wife has been gifting me like my birthday week. So she's been gifting me different meals throughout the week. And
good for her.
Yeah, I think we have something special coming up tomorrow. We may do like oleander.
They are doing some special private
it's reservations.
Yeah.
So we reserve the spot tomorrow night. And then El Secreto. I got the password.
You got the password?
From Benjamin today.
So you're going to share it or no?
Well, people can find it.
I know, but they didn't hear it on Space Coast Eats. That's totally different.
It's a secret. Okay, tune in for the rest of the episode, and maybe I'll divulge
the password.
Later on this episode. So that's a little
funny.
Cliffhanger for you guys.
Cliffhanger.
So maybe do some bar hopping tomorrow night. Beach probably on Saturday. Maybe a brunch. Maybe Frigates or Ember Oak. We haven't really decided for Sunday.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
I mean, you really can't go wrong at either one. But
nope.
But I gotta enjoy Ember and Oak. Because I haven't been. I have not had a brunch there yet.
Oh, really?
I feel left out.
Yeah, you definitely need to check it out.
Yeah. So Frigates, we great brunch. We did that for my wife's birthday back in August. July.
Yeah.
End of July. So just before August. So so I guess it's been a month since we did brunch there. But yeah, we're gonna try Ember Oak this weekend if we could get in.
Variety is the spice of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And,
check it out.
I look forward to a very fun and festive
Well, good. I'm so happy for you.
food and drink filled weekend.
There you go.
So this is where we're at. We are winding down. The year is coming to an end. I know there's going to be some absentee. We're going to be taking a couple weeks off in September.
We are.
So this is going to be I think they're just one of two.
Yeah,
this month.
we will not be here next week.
Not on the 10th, and we're skipping the next week, the 17th. Come back on the 24th.
No, we will be here on the 17th.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And we will have Captain Hiram's in the house on the 17th.
Oh, that's right. What good news. That's
so
right.
this is awesome. And then the following week we'll be off. Yeah, I'll be out of town both those weeks.
So let's give some love to where love is due.
And the 17th is my birthday.
Special.
FYI. September is a very busy month because you know what January is? It's cold.
No, we are New Year's babies.
New Year's babies, is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's why September has so many kids.
It's super interesting because my sister's a September baby too. So my parents clearly had some issues in January. So
that's how it works, guys. The holidays, it's festive, it's New Year's.
Yeah.
Parents are getting down. That's just what happens. Halim, hi friends. Oh, we love you, Halim.
Hi, Halim.
Visit Village Food Tours.
Yes.
I can't wait till he comes back roaring.
I know.
Roaring.
He is amazing.
It's gonna be roaring.
And anyone that needs information about any of the restaurants in Cocoa Village, he is your go-to. And honestly, Jesse and I did just a walk. We did a podcast live, just walking around. It's a crazy podcast. You can go back on our Facebook page and see it.
Yeah,
we had some camera issues, FYI, but we had an amazing time. Halim knows everything about historic Cocoa Village. Yeah. He is packed full of information.
Wealth of knowledge.
Yes, it was so much fun hanging out with him. But definitely check him out for any kind of food tour, anything like that. So
big love to our sponsor, Majors Golf Club.
Yeah.
They continue to serve some of the golfers down there at the golf club and restaurant. So check them out. Also, Apocalypse Coffee Roasters, our official in-house coffee provider. Thank you guys so very much. Big shout out to all the people that help us make this happen. And now we have to go ahead and address the guest. And she's a special one.
Yes.
We've been hanging out for like an hour. She came nice and early.
I know. And the food, we talk about the smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision, I know. If you guys can only smell what's going on.
One day it has to happen.
I know. And right now I'm looking at a couple, they're like a tart size.
Yeah.
But they're a key lime cheesecake, graham cracker crust, crumbles on top, crusted on the bottom, and some
It's what did you say?
Grilled key lime.
Ginger snap, actually. Crust.
Oh, it's ginger snap.
Yeah.
Okay. Lean into the mic. We got to hear this.
Describe, and we need to introduce her.
Yes, Patricia, Cypress Table.
Oh,
How are
did
you?
say? Okay, I must have missed that.
Oh.
Yes.
How's it going?
How
are you?
I'm good.
So like we were mentioning, the flavors, the aroma coming from some of the things we're looking at. We're going to dive into that, and I know Patricia's going to give us more of, and you could correct me all day because I'll probably make some mistakes, and because I do, but I know there's some really cool things here on the table, and you're also prepared to do a live grilling of a Cuban sandwich, it looks like.
Absolutely.
So we're going to have you, again, tell us about your prep and what you put into the sandwich a little bit later. But let's get into Patricia. What do you have to ask her?
What do I have to ask her?
I want to know.
So this is the thing. So we had Road River here, Elizabeth.
Yeah, River Road.
River Road. Oopsie.
Coffee and popsicles.
Coffee and popsicles. We loved having her on here. She is just.
She's awesome.
She's so awesome.
Very cool.
And I had seen where she had posted, or someone had posted that, and I had seen some of your food and some different things, and I really did not know what your concept was, to be honest with you. But I see your food, etc., and you have some nice pictures, and it looks amazing. It looks really good. But she had posted, or you had posted, that you were going to have brunch. at her location. And she had just been here and she had talked about her lavender, coffee. And I'm like, I got to check that out. And I had seen that you were going to be there. So I got up on a Saturday morning. We talked about this on one of our podcasts.
Yep.
So
Awesome.
yes.
We mentioned it quite a bit.
We mentioned it. So I went up there and I didn't realize you were like this cute, adorable, little teeny tiny food truck. You have like a little plant hanging off of it. And I'm like, okay, so this looks really interesting. And you had a line and people were really excited to enjoy your food. And your menu was incredibly unique. It wasn't 500 miles long, which I really like. I don't like going to restaurants where I'm flipping. I'm not big on like the Cheesecake Factory. I'm not big on anything where it's reading a book because to me, that means probably everything's not fresh.
Or
it's too much.
it gets too busy.
It's too busy.
Like you don't need 20 pasta dishes.
Right.
And 13 chicken dishes.
Right. And you're in this tiny little food truck. And you were so cute and so nice. And to be honest, it was hard to kind of decide, but you can only eat so much, right? And you had a bourbon, French toast, deliciousness. But then you had other things. You had like a biscuit thing going on. And I'm like, well, clearly I can't have all that or I'm just going to like explode. So I decided on what I wanted, but then someone else got another dish and I took a picture of it and then I did post that picture. But because it was just really hard to decide. And I had some of it. And then even like you had some fruit on the side and it was beautiful. So it's not just you were putting out food that not only was very unique in flavor, because it was what I call elevated, because I watch a lot of television. But you had different flavors in it that you would not typically get, because you can always go get French toast from a lot of different restaurants. And it's good. And you can get brown sugar on it or different things. But this was a variety of different unique flavors put together to create something really elevated, delicious. And it's coming off of a food truck and is beautiful. So it's unique. And you had a line and you had people that really loved your stuff.
That was awesome.
And I had my lavender coffee, which was off the freaking chain. And it's a beautiful little environment. So definitely I started kind of looking where you were going to be. And it's a place you want to find out where your food truck's going to be so that you don't miss out. So you definitely have a gift. And I feel like I'm like whooshing on her.
It's great. Yeah,
I have a food truck crush.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
That almost rhymes.
Food truck crush.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like that.
There we go.
There you go.
You got it?
You got to be able to hear.
Yeah.
Sister says I have a
We
tiny
want you
head.
to lean in.
Hello.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. We can maybe move it a little bit.
Yeah. So,
Oh, sorry. I'm
Yeah,
gonna punch you in the face
yeah.
with it. Sorry. So
killer mic.
So we were talking slightly, I didn't know any of this prior to. I knew that you did some catering.
Yep.
But the food truck was an afterthought to the catering, and we can always thank COVID.
Thanks,
COVID.
COVID.
Thanks, COVID. Send them a thank you note. So tell me a little bit about how you started and kind of what you did and what you kind of transitioned into.
Yeah. So I've been in the food industry for 20 years now. And, primarily cooking other people's food. That's what you do. You run into people's restaurants. You climb up ladders. I didn't go to culinary school. I just kind of worked my way up from the bottom. And it's just what I've always loved to do. And I finally turned, I think I was, it was 38 last year. I was turning 38 and I just was like, I'm going to start a business because I am a fan of taking leaps and jumping off the cliff. And I never want to ask myself, what if,
Sure.
So I launched the catering business and it was a small scale craft catering company. So we decided that we wanted to really cater to smaller groups. We're kind of chatting about it before, not really a fan of bulk cooking because I think the quality of the food can kind of suffer. So we're on this great momentum and things were going really well. And then COVID-19 hit. And the industry, the events industry just got smashed, annihilated.
I remember.
So it was, I feel like it was just yesterday.
Yeah.
It's 20 years ago. It feels like it's been forever. This year is so weird. So instead of kind of sort of sitting and letting the situation take control of me, I decided to take control of the situation. And I've wanted a food truck since I was about 19 years old, and I'll be 40 this year. Better late than never.
Yeah.
Yeah,
never live
So-
with regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm super lucky. I have an amazing support system. My husband is very used to me being. He calls me my crazy. She says, "You're my crazy little lady."
Aw. That's a good man.
Affectionate.
That's a good
That's an
man.
affectionate term. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we bought a box. We literally bought a little black box with a bunch of windows. And I was like, we're gonna do something with this, and it's gonna be different and unique, and I'm gonna make my food. So, yeah, we're tiny.
But mighty.
But mighty, small but mighty. We have limited menu, but I think that's really important. I mean, not only because of the spatial issues, but I would rather put out, 3 or 4 items that are really, really on point and delicious that you're going to be happy with paying, X number of dollars for,
Right.
than, be pumping out a whole bunch of food that is kind of, just sort of not all there.
Would you
Right.
would you identify or define your type of service as the same with the catering, just a craft boutique style? When you run out, you run out. You only service so many people a day. You're not in for to serve multiple meals throughout the day. You're like, you show up, and once you sell out, you're done.
So I kind of decided that we're kind of we're craft street food. Can
Craft
we
street food.
speak?
Okay.
Craft street food.
And define that for us.
And so my definition of that
Yeah.
is that it's all from scratch. There are 2 things that I don't make. I do not make my bread, and I do not make my plantain chips that come with everything, because I am a one-woman show, essentially.
Of course.
I do all of the shopping. I pick everything with my own hands.
Yeah.
I go to specific growers. I go to specific places to get items. I'm huge into. I was raised in scratch cooking kitchens.
Right.
Scratch kitchens were huge for me, and so everything I do, there's nothing out of a jar. There's nothing, it's all made with a lot of love and a lot of care. So,
Yeah. And it shows. It definitely comes through in your flavors.
thanks.
What's
So-
your biggest limitation with the your truck
The
or
size of the
your
truck.
trailer?
Yeah.
Is it the refrigeration? Is it the amount of hot surfaces that you're able to have? Like, if you were to change one thing about it,
She's like all of the above.
what would it- but one thing, let's just say there's a donor, a beneficiary out there who could help you out. But what do you think was your limitation? How would you serve better food or more food, or what's your goal?
Space.
Cooking space
a
in general.
cooking surface. So it's hard with. We decided to build the trailer, and we decided to not take out giant loans and lose our shirts.
Sure.
I wanted to be really smart about this, and not. I didn't want to take a risk and have everything be gone in the middle of what is happening in the
Exactly.
world today. So like I said, we built everything from scratch. So there's definitely limitations. And one of the limitations is that the amount of energy that you can use in this specific little trailer is very limited. So it is very difficult cooking surface wise. I would be able to probably double my daily output if I had double the cooking surface. So that's my biggest issue right now. But I'm dealing with it. You know what I mean? Everything is always going to have challenges. Even if I had a 20-foot truck, there would still be something. There's always going to be something. So,
Yeah.
I definitely am kind of a burn and turn, but I do doubles. I'll go out for a lunch and then go for an evening. Gosh, next Saturday I've got a double on Saturday, and the following week I think I have 2 doubles. So.
Well, exciting.
I kind of burn and turn the truck pretty hard.
And that's when you do a double. It's probably 2 different menus as well. No, same menu.
The biggest one of the other obviously
Right.
issues is being a one-woman show. There is not a lot of room for error, and I would rather do the same menu all week long
Right.
than try to do 4 different menus and not be presenting the appropriate food and the quality that I think is so important. And I feel like being a food truck, I can kind of get away with that because people are not always going to come in the same week. Now, eventually, I hope they do. I hope
Right.
they come
Repeat offenders, yeah.
3 times a week
Exactly.
to get one of everything. But we're still new on the kind of the scene, so we're kids.
So clearly you're at River Road.
Yep.
Where else do you go?
So we're going to be doing brunches with River Road, I think once a month, at least through December. Elizabeth has invited us out and she loved it. So next Saturday is a brunch I'm super excited about.
Everybody, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Take notes.
So next Saturday is a brunch. I'm at Rockledge Gardens every Wednesday. You can always find me at Rockledge Gardens from 11 to 2 for lunch. It's my happy chill place. I love Rockledge Gardens. I love the people there.
Yeah.
And it's just, if you ever want to come and chat food too, that's where to do it. Find me that day.
Do they have something special going on that particular day? Is that why it's a day that you're there? Or
It's me. I'm the special.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool.
No, we just kind of developed an awesome relationship, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to come and hang out every Wednesday?" And it's great for me because it's somewhere that people can kind of always find me every Wednesday. So it's kind of my one
You got to have that staple.
It's my one solid spot where it's I'm always there.
So what on your menu is one of the most popular things for your lunch on Wednesdays?
Definitely the Cuban. For sure.
Okay.
So
and we're going to try that.
Yes.
So we'll have some answers as to why that's so popular.
Yeah.
Definitely the Cuban.
Good to know. Yeah. All righty.
How many items can you do on a single, a daily menu? So,
I don't push it more than 4.
Okay. So
I do not go over 4.
well,
I
that's
prefer
still some
3.
options. Right.
Yep.
Because if you're going to do 3 things, they're probably going to be the best
They're
3
gonna be
things.
killer.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep. I'm not going to put out 3 things that are
Questionable or
no,
Mhm.
I'm gonna bang out 3 amazing things.
Mhm.
So
Is there anywhere else that you're at typically?
yep, I do a lot of the markets. I do the Viera Friday Fest. I'll be there tomorrow.
Okay.
And that's fun because there's a bunch of other really cool, awesome high-end trucks.
and that's at the Avenues?
Yeah, it's right over there in the Avenues. It's
Okay.
the first Friday of the month. Oftentimes at the downtown Melbourne Farmers Market at Riverview Park.
Mhm.
I think they're typically twice a month, and I think I'll continue doing 2 times a month as they pick up on their season. I just want to, I'm going to be at River Road sometime, so I'm getting asked to be at more places, so it's kind of exciting.
That
Yeah.
demand is super cool, and especially with people who don't have a kitchen,
Yeah.
and for them to have a rotation of visiting trucks makes it so cool. I mean,
Yeah,
right.
with breweries,
Mm-hmm.
again, you couldn't find a better synergistic mix. You know,
Absolutely.
and I believe in that collaboration.
Yeah.
I believe that when you can offer different flavors of beer or drinks or food, it keeps people coming back. It keeps it exciting and fresh.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think I don't know. I just love being able to pair with local businesses. It's just
Yeah.
one of my favorite things. Is
Yeah.
being
Building
able
those
to support
relationships.
each other.
Right.
Yeah, you never know when that synergy is just going to be to where it becomes atomic, and
Yeah.
it's just like, well, we just might as well merge,
Yep.
and
Right.
it may become something even bigger than any of y'all dreamed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's very exciting.
Yeah. So you had to pivot pretty quickly. Everybody talks about COVID having, so many different ways that has affected their businesses, and they've had to pivot, do these things differently. And it's worked out to where they learned from it, and it may have actually bettered the way that they're going to do business in the future or expanded their opportunities. Do you see that as what it may have happened for you as well, so that it's something you're adding on to as far as the catering side?
100%.
Yeah.
I'm already seeing a transition with interest with the truck. I have several weddings already booked for utilizing the trailer in addition to the catering. So it's kind of this culmination. The having to think outside the box the way we did, and having the support that we had to just do it has done nothing but benefit Cypress Table. It's a dream, honestly. It's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
It's just done nothing but expand everything, all of the pieces. So
Right. That's a good story.
I'm super grateful. It's
Yeah.
just been so
Yeah.
cool.
So do you see yourself as COVID, hopefully, prayerfully, starts to kind of taper off, go away, potentially if there's a cure or what have you? Do you see yourself going more towards the catering side again, or kind of staying? What do you think is
I
going to
would
happen?
like to do both, honestly,
Right.
because I love catering too.
Yeah.
I love presentation. I love beautiful food. I love things. I love entertaining. So honestly, if I can do both, I mean, and the truck is awesome because it's so modular. We can use it as a bar at a catering event. We can do all kinds of things with the trailer. It's
Yeah.
not just for food. So
That's very
Right.
smart.
Yeah, and it's really attractive. I mean, it's adorable little trailer. I mean, I was just so surprised. I feel like it's something you would see at a wedding just because it had like, I don't know, I posted a picture of it, but it's really unique. I really liked it.
Because of the petite size and because it's surrounded by windows.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of see everything that's going on. Usually with these big trailers, it's just a big trailer truck.
Yeah.
And it has like one cutout.
Yeah.
And that's it. And so you're not really seeing the behind the scenes. You just have somebody peep out the window, call a name like, take your food. And that's really the typical truck or trailer. It's
and the menu's on a chalkboard, so it's totally she runs out of something, all she has to do is go
that's right.
And if it rains, that's super fun too. No. We actually built it out of a guard tower that used to be at NASA. So it kind of is cool.
That's some fun history.
It's in theme with kind of our food is sort of the celebrating the flavors of Florida specifically. So I'm like, what better? How much more Florida can you get with building a food trailer out of a guard tower from NASA? So
right.
That's pretty neat.
So some of the like smaller events that you do you do like go to people's homes and do small events, like private events, things like that?
So in addition to the truck, I do a lot of private work. I actually did private work primarily before I started Cypress Table. And that's just increased as well. It's super, I love it. I love going to people's houses and getting intimate and hanging out and talking food. It's just super fun. So we do small groups. I did a wedding last year for 7. So there's no group that's too small. There is a group that's too large. No.
Yes.
I definitely try to keep my private events and catering at 50 or less if possible.
So if you were to do like a medium or small event, what kind of food would you typically serve? I mean,
like how many courses?
Yeah. And the thing is your food, everything that you serve is unique. Like this is not just any ordinary graham cracker crust.
Right.
Unbeknownst to Jesse.
Right.
He's excited. He's down with graham cracker, but you had to pump it up a couple notches.
And there's also a little bit of smoked salt. I smoke my own salt in the graham
She smokes
pepper,
her own salt, Jesse.
on the top.
Smokes her own salt.
Smoking salt now.
Smoking salt.
It's
It
just getting
takes
crazy.
forever.
At least she's
I
not.
bet.
What is it called? Sniffing salt? What is it? Never mind.
Smelling salts?
Smelling salts.
Yeah, none of
I went
those.
down a different path. Sorry.
Wait, what was the question?
Oh, yeah.
So how many courses? What is a
and kind of
a
what
dinner
that would
party
look
look like?
like.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm really, really crazy about is I work with clients. I don't have anything set in stone. If you go to cypresstablecatering.com, there's some menu options. There are some sample menus. There's some platters, but that's about it. One of the things that I've worked in the industry for so long. I know how the industry works, and one of the things that a lot of times industry, especially catering companies, do is kind of keep things sort of set in a box. So it's like, and I understand why they do that. But I wanted to do something different. I like to be able to work with people's budgets. I like to be able to work with people's palates. I don't like to force my budget and my tastes on anyone. I think it's super important that people have a choice. So, I did a wedding last year that was a big Florida low boil and, lobster mac and cheese made with Florida spiny lobster and stuff like that.
Fun.
But you can definitely, we've done a lot of coursed things. The wedding for 7 was beautiful. It was just, I think we did 4 or 5 courses. And that was, all high end fine dining on China serviced. So there's really, the limitations are within the client. That's, the only real thing that I say is like, I do not like to do huge groups because I want to get intimate, because I don't want to buy in bulk, because I want to take a lot of care in what I'm doing. So
Precisely.
And do you feel like when it gets large, and this is what I would personally feel like, is you enjoy and you love what you do when it gets to be that big and it kind of stops being fun? Do you think when you're dealing with so many people, so many courses?
I love the chaos. I was in restaurants for years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love a dinner rush. I love a crazy huge event. But I just was like, you know what? If I'm going to start my own business, I'm going to do what I do best. And I'm going to do what I believe in. So I set the parameters for myself. And I just think I try to offer the best that I can do. So.
Yeah. Well, you do a great job, and I'm super excited to dive into these. And I think that we're like at the bottom of the half hour. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just getting started. I hope for all of you listening here on Facebook as we stream live, if you're liking what you're hearing and you have some questions, now's the time to go ahead and write some comments right there in that thread. And as we return, we'll go ahead and read those off. Also, as we return, we're going to bring to you everybody's favorite segment, this week's Eats with Darlene from Eat, Drink, Play, Brevard.
Yeah.
And and I think maybe we'll get started. Turn up the griddle. We'll get some.
It's about to go down.
Get some heat over there, and we're gonna grill this Cuban right here in the studio, which I think is a first. We've eaten prepared food. We've eaten,
but never cooked.
Food, you're right, food that was cooked outside of here.
Yeah.
But we are talking about in the studio.
Yeah.
Grilled for your pleasure, guys.
I know.
All right. When we return, this week's Eats. Don't go anywhere.
Are you in the market for a new home? Perhaps you need to sell your old home and downsize or relocate. Hey there, my name is Jesse Hall with eXp Realty, and I offer professional real estate services right here on the Space Coast. Give me a call, 321-877-8737 for all of your real estate needs. Again, 321-877-8737 for all of your real estate needs. Buy, sell, invest with the best. Find out more at 321-buysellinvest.com.
You're listening to Space Coast Podcast, home of the greatest podcasts on the Space Coast. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or having your own show, email us at spacecoastpodcast@hotmail.com. Space Coast Podcast. Talk hard!
Hey, come down to the Majors Golf Club in Bayside Lakes. We are under new ownership and challenging you to bring your game. So if you can hit the long drive or perhaps a hole-in-one, then book your tee time now and head on over. We are open to the public and look forward to seeing you on the majorly improved greens. Oh, and make sure to check out our amazing new menu filled with delicious food and drinks at our completely renovated sports bar and grill, the Majors Golf Club at Bayside Lakes, Palm Bay.
We're back, and it's time for this week's Eats featuring Darlene with Eat, Drink, Play, Brevard.
We are back. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to tell you something. So Patricia is grilling and making meat. My hangry is coming out like a vengeance. It smells so freaking amazing.
I can hear it sizzling.
Yes, I'm not even kidding you.
I think it's coming through the mic.
I'm not kidding. Oh my God, I can't even take it.
I bet if I turn up her gain, we could hear it. Hold on.
Oh, do it.
You guys hear that?
That
That's
is
amazing.
so awesome. Yeah. That's so cool.
All we're missing is smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision, yeah. Yeah. So I have to give a big shout out. My friend Jane is in Moab, Utah. So she is there. She and her husband are doing an amazing adventure. They have a what do you call it? Not a what do you call it? An RV. I was going to say trailer, and I know that's completely wrong.
A recreational vehicle.
A recreational vehicle. Yes. They are enjoying life. So good for them. I'm so excited that she still takes time out to tune in. Yes, she is awesome. But anyway, so I'm going to do my segment here. So Jesse, if you would pull up a couple picks. So this week we hit up a little restaurant that we haven't been to. Okay, so that we'll go with that one. Jesse pulled up a picture of Outriggers, which is actually located in New Smyrna. It's a marina area. There's a little hotel and some different things over there. It's outdoors. It's amazing. We were really surprised. We just happened upon it, to be very frank with you. So it wasn't a planned pit stop. We went for brunch on Sunday. So Jesse, are you a Bloody Mary kind of guy?
I am a Bloody Mary.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So they have a sidecar beer, which you don't get very often.
I love it.
Yeah. So you get that with your bloody. It was a really good bloody. And then they had bacon that was cooked with some kind of like barbecue seasoning, which is unusual, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some brown sugar. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was pretty good.
Like a candied bacon? Or
It was
or a
like,
barbecue bacon?
It was like a barbecued smoky.
Like a smoky rub?
I don't
maybe?
know what it was, but it was ridiculous.
So what are the other condiments? It looks like a shrimp and
Yeah, it was a very large shrimp and an olive, which I don't care too much about.
Okay.
I pretty much give those away.
I put pickles
Yeah.
and olives.
Yeah, there was no
and
pickle.
other
It was an olive and a shrimp, pretty good sized shrimp, but honestly the bacon was rocking.
Over the top, huh?
Over the top. It was different because usually it's sweet, it's brown sugar, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But that was a little bit different. We also, like I said, we had brunch there.
Mm.
I got a Benedict. And it was a lobster crab Benedict. It was stupid good. It was big, huge crab, big, huge lobster, $19, full of flavor. It was worth every penny. But the whole like vibe, everything that we experienced was really, really nice.
Now that's some big chunky lobster in that.
It was huge.
And some
Yeah.
microgreens,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not a traditional English muffin. What is that?
No, it was like a flatbread of some
Oh.
sort. Yeah, which is good. You don't need all that bread.
And those look like perfectly poached eggs.
It was perfectly poached. And it was not really heavy hollandaise. It was really fresh hollandaise. But yes, it was very, very delish. We were really, really impressed with the service that we received there. It was just a really nice spot. So if you're ever just getting out of Brevard, because sometimes you need to just
Get out.
Get
of
out.
Brevard. Yeah.
we just decided to head up and we just took a pit stop there and
And New
had a little
Smyrna,
Sunday fun day.
New Smyrna, for being how fun and quirky and small town that is.
Yeah.
It's kind of reminisce of what the Space Coast kind of used to look like. Just one little causeway, one little town, one little road to the beach.
Yeah.
And not to mention some really good surfing. There was a minute there where New Smyrna was the shark attack capital of the world.
I think it still is.
And no, we borrowed it. At least a couple years ago we
Shut
did.
the front door.
No, Brevard County adopted that.
Good
but
stuff.
I think we just because we have more visitors,
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, so they had that to their name. So
Yeah.
but really really nice surfing, and they have some really good restaurants.
Yeah.
There's another one.
The garlic
the
is there.
garlic, I've heard,
Which
yeah.
is what we originally thought we were going for, but they didn't open for a couple hours after, and we were getting
Is it
hungry.
just dinner or is it lunch and dinner?
No, they didn't open till like 4 or 5.
Yeah, so they're dinner only.
Yeah, and it was brunchy-ish for us. So,
Yeah.
and I want to give one more shout out for
Sure.
this week's Eats with Darlene Eat Drink Play Brevard. Is the Asian Garden.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people have been here. I've never seen this on any food blogger or anything. It's not that one. It's that one. It's this little. It's right on US 1. It's super like just kind of in a little hidey hole.
Mhm.
It's Vietnamese food. It's incredibly clean. It's very authentic. I think that probably the mom or grandma is in the kitchen cooking, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And very fresh, authentic, very insanely good. But I have a picture of pho, which I just had a bite of, but I'm not a big pho eater. But
And that looks like a beef broth.
yes. It was very, very good. So my other half got that and he just like completely raved. I got a salad, which was really good, but this I just thought was absolutely amazing. One of the things that I liked about it is this to me was just very endearing. She has little doilies that are like hand stitched and hand embroidered like Nana, your grandma would have done, in the middle of all the tables. To me, that's just So sweet.
You don't
but
see
it's
that.
not grandma-ish. It's just in the middle of the tables, and then there's glass over it. But to me, that was really heartwarming.
Mm.
But the service was amazing, super, super nice.
And where are they located?
Off US 1, next to it's called the Herb Center or something like that.
We're on US 1. US 1 goes from Key West to Maine.
I know. I'm trying to.
I'm just kidding.
It's actually not far from here.
Oh, okay. So it's like Melbourne area, you're not-
Yeah.
okay, so we're back
No,
in
no,
town.
no.
We're
Yes.
not in New Smyrna anymore.
No,
Okay.
no. Yeah, it's right here in town. So definitely
Nice.
check them out if you like pho, if you like any kind of fresh Asian food. They have quite a variety. It's a nice little variety.
And then we had another.
Yeah, and I'll do that real quickly. Surfinista. I've been going there quite a bit. They have pressed juice. I love pressed juice.
And that Kai Lenny in the picture, one of my favorites. It's
Yes.
a carrot base,
Mhm.
but it's got all like the gingers, all the
I
good
love
stuff.
anything with ginger.
Yeah. I think it's got turmeric.
Perfect. Yes, it's
Yeah.
perfect. It's perfect. So I really love the pressed juices.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of places where you can get really fresh pressed juice.
Right.
So I did pop in and get that. And then I got a kale and quinoa salad with some fresh berries and some almonds.
Yeah, it looks like almonds, quinoa,
Yeah.
strawberries, and what kind of cheese was that?
I want to say it was maybe like a gorgonzola
Okay.
or a feta. I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, you can't go wrong.
No.
But I feel like a good goat cheese on that salad. would be
Yeah.
like, pow.
Yeah, it was a great salad. They have a lot of really great options for really healthy salads if that's what your thing is. And they have a lot of their salads have tuna on it.
Very cool.
Yeah. So,
Well, yeah, it looks like this week's Eats by Darlene was a good time.
yeah,
Like-
we've actually been doing quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, I've got a lot to catch
keep,
up on
keep
my
it coming.
blog.
And if any of y'all listening have a request for Darlene to go and visit, if you think you found a hidden gem that she hasn't talked about yet,
Yeah, give me the 411.
yeah, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Amy says, I've never had such delicious pulled pork as I've had from Cypress Table. What's in the rub, and how do you keep the pork so moist?
Yes.
Oh gosh, I'm actually gonna probably sell the rub this Christmas. I'm
Really?
launching
They
gift
bottle it,
cards
yeah.
and just the rub.
Right.
So gift cards, Sabre Table gift cards coming in November.
You heard it here first.
And our rub. So it's a coffee and chili rub. There's a lot of brown sugar. It's a brown sugar base rub.
Right.
So coffee, good quality coffee.
Mhm.
I actually usually use a local roaster called Mountain Laurel Handcrafts. Her coffee is delicious.
I've heard.
So coffee, cumin, chipotle, smoked paprika, a lot of different spices going into the rub.
Mhm.
And then I use, so I lived in Texas for a period of time and I learned how to smoke there. And I use a little method called the Texas Crutch.
Okay.
So what the Texas Crutch is it's a hard smoke on whatever your protein is. So whether it's my brisket or my pork, so it's going to be a lot more smoke for a shorter period of time. And then you finish it. Actually, you braise it in the oven with no liquid. It's 200 degrees for another 15 hours. So instead of hitting
Wow.
it with a little bit of smoke for 20
long time,
hours,
right.
you hit it really, really hard with smoke for
Right.
about 6 to 8 hours.
Right.
And then you finish it super duper low in an oven.
And do you still
cover.
get a nice ring?
Oh my gosh.
Good
it's-
smoke ring? Yeah.
mhm.
And then braise in the oven for
It's not
Secret.
technically braised because
Right.
you don't add any liquid.
Right.
It's just the plain.
Just like
but
a
it's
slow roast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just
Slow
super
and low,
duper
yeah.
slow and low.
Yeah.
So yep, Texas Crutch. It's a
Texas
great
Crutch.
Texas
method.
Crutch. We
Woo,
learned
woo.
something new today.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, and I can't guarantee, but I'm assuming, okay, that it was probably used maybe because the smoker, it's outside,
Mhm.
and maybe, they want to watch football.
Yep.
They want to keep going back and checking the meat, so knowing Texas and their football, they're like, you know what, put that damn thing in the oven,
Yep.
and that way we ain't got to walk too far.
We'll heat it real hard.
We'll
with
hit
some
real hard,
smoke.
real quick, and then we'll go.
Her
throw it up.
accent's better than yours.
Texas was interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, a lot of Texans do that. Instead of, the pit masters and things
Right.
like that, they make a career and a living out of sitting with a barbecue for
Mm.
25 hours.
Yeah, from
I
2 in the
don't-
morning.
I
And
don't have
yeah.
time for that.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's a labor of love.
Yes.
Mhm.
know.
And so, I love smoking meats. It's one
Yeah.
of my favorite things to do. But with time constraints, I find that the Texas Crutch is perfectly appropriate for what I do. It's delicious.
I
So,
love it.
Awesome.
I love it.
I have a little bit of just the meat and just the house pickles if you'd care to try them, but I also have the sandwich ready.
Tell us about
Yeah.
your pickling process.
So house pickles,
gonna
it's
try one
actually
of
a
these.
quick pickle. I learned how to make pickles and things like that from my grandmother who just passed away recently. It's
Oh, bless her
so
heart.
sad. I love my grandma Patricia. She was amazing. But these pickles are my pickles. They're a refrigerator pickle, a quick pickle. So it's an apple cider vinegar base, sugar, some spices, garlic, fresh dill. Basically make a brine, pour them over your, theoretically you use the little pickling cucumbers. It works well with the big cucumbers too, but
Right.
and then onions. I have to have onions with my pickles.
I mean, that's a good vinegar bite.
Yeah.
But there's also, what's that heat?
There's some crushed red pepper in the brine as well.
These are ridiculously good.
Good,
you.
good.
And
Well
I am a pickle. I love pickles.
Me too.
I love them. And that was one of the things I think about when I think about my grandma.
Mhm.
She didn't make them, but whenever you went to her house, they were always on the table
Yeah.
with every meal.
Yeah.
I don't know
absolutely.
why.
A
They
relish
were-
tray.
Yeah.
I think it's an
It-
Eastern European
Yes.
thing.
They were
because-
in the little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
Absolutely. Yep. So I'm crazy. I'm crazy for pickles.
All right.
so.
I'm going to try a little meat too. Just.
Your expression.
That is insane.
Yeah, look in the camera with that expression. That was priceless. Jane says, Bloody Mary with a beer chaser. Go Wisconsin.
I was just thinking that.
Amy replying to Jane, we do that in Minnesota too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's the way to do it.
very delightful. I'm gonna grab one of those onions.
Yeah. Do it. Here.
I'm a big pickled onion or pickled
I'm gonna
anything.
give
I
you-
love
yeah,
I love
me too.
anything pickle. Oh yeah. See? Mild. That takes away all those oniony characteristics that people don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's nothing better than a grilled onion. It makes it so sweet, so tender.
Yep.
But pickling also, again, it just gives it a whole, like, onions just are versatile. Like, it'll just adopt all kinds of flavor.
It makes me sad when people say they don't like onions. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What happened to you?
I know, right?
Wow. So tender.
Yeah. Very, very
Wow.
delish.
Very
right.
impressed.
So this is your most popular Sammy.
Yeah, we didn't.
What's on it?
So it's a Cuban, and the Cuban is originally from Tampa, Florida. I think that's a common misconception that it's from Cuba. It was actually invented in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, wow.
And I was over in Tampa a while ago, and I'm like, gosh, I should do a Cuban. And then I was like, no, everybody does a Cuban. And then I was like, why am I not doing a Cuban? I love Cubans. So I just went really simple with it. I knew that I wanted to make my own pickles. I knew that I wanted a different mustard. I don't use traditionally a Cuban is going to have just actually yellow mustard, plain yellow mustard. And I knew that I wanted to make my own pickles. The pork is a little bit different. Typically you would get like a braised kind of a Cuban, more almost ropa vieja style type pork.
Right.
So we use our smoked pork instead of that, and then just some really good quality ham. The brand is actually a Spanish brand of ham. It's Paisa, and then an aged Swiss. So the Swiss is going to be a little bit meltier, a little bit less kind of rubbery than like a deli Swiss.
Sure. That's smart. So the yellow mustard, that was the original recipe, and you do.
I do Creole mustard, which is basically
Creole.
a combination of stone ground mustard and Dijon mustard. That's pretty much all Creole mustard
It
is.
looks similar to like a brown mustard, like a Golden's or
Yep.
something.
Yep. So it's got a little bit more texture in there, and I like that.
This is honestly probably one of the best Cubans I've ever had.
Thank you.
And the bread, you can have a Cuban sandwich without good
Yeah,
Cuban bread.
good Cuban
That
bread.
is very good.
That's actually
Yeah.
the only thing I serve my sandwiches on. If I'm not doing like tacos or a tortilla or something like that, I only do Cuban bread. I love Cuban bread. It's my favorite.
Excuse
And
us
I
for
think it's such a
chomping
great
away in the
vessel.
mic. Yeah.
It's an excellent
Wow.
sandwich vessel.
Wow.
So
So good.
typically, I don't really notice the smoked meat coming through in a Cuban sandwich, and I love the fact that this is a Cuban sandwich, and it's definitely got a twist.
Yep. I just want to, and I didn't want to reinvent the Cuban because the Cuban deserves respect.
Yeah.
The Cuban is an amazing.
Don't mess with a
This is
a sandwich.
This is
the recipe is spoke for
I
itself.
didn't want to reinvent the wheel, but I wanted to just add a couple of things that were a little bit unique to me and to Cypress Table. So yeah, the smoked pork instead of the kind of braised traditional Cuban pork with all the spices and things like that, which I love. But I wanted to just do a couple of things, just a little bit.
I love this. I can see why this is like a #1 seller.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm like, should I just sell Cubans or what?
No.
Like, I have days where I'm like, Cuban. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
This is really, really good.
I'm impressed.
For dessert.
I didn't even have an appetite, but now I'm going to finish it, this damn thing. I didn't think I was going to finish it. So good.
Thank you.
Yeah, popping with flavor.
Yeah.
And again, the bread makes it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's just that toast, the crispiness, and as you press it, it just gets like so cracker thin.
Yep.
And it just holds it all together.
I think that's one of the things that is a little bit different about our truck. Is not a fast food truck. I'm pressing with grill presses. I don't have a plancha. One of the big traditional panini style Cuban planchas. So, things are going to take a couple minutes longer, but I think those extra couple minutes is the difference between, a really, really good sandwich and this is a good sandwich.
Right.
Right.
I just think it's super important to take the time.
Right.
Yeah. And those onions and pickles, it's crunchy. It's not like the jar variety where it's like, there's no texture. It's just soft. You can't distinguish a pickle and a cheese.
Right.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
So by this, you're getting crunches from the bread and then into the pickle and the onions.
That's what I love
good.
about a Cuban is all those different textures. So.
Yeah. It's really good.
Thank you.
Really, really good.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask you, this dessert here.
Yes.
Is this something you would serve on your food truck?
Oh,
No.
I wanted to kind of bring you guys something from the catering side as well.
So we'll put this more in the food cam. Jesse, I don't know if you want to reach up and do that where people can see it really close.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter which one. You can't get this on the food truck. No, I'm just kidding.
You can't get it on the food truck.
But can you see it? So what's on top of it? So it's a key lime.
So it's a key lime cheesecake. It's a little bit different than a standard cheesecake. It's actually is a no bake cheesecake. But you build a custard first, and then you whip that or you fold that into your cooler ingredients. So it's a cooked cheesecake, but it's not.
Okay.
It's a custard base. It just doesn't go into the oven afterward.
So is there cheese in it?
There is cream cheese, yes.
Okay.
And then heavy whipping cream, key lime juice, and key lime zest. Super important to use actual key lime. I just don't think that regular lime. It's
No.
two different things.
No.
And then the crust is actually. I like ginger and lime a lot. And a dear friend of mine from back home makes her key lime pie with a ginger snap crust, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. And it just is awesome. And then in the crumb topping, it's just the crust, but it's also got tossed with just a little bit of smoked salt.
And then what is the fruit?
They're just cute little charred key limes.
They're cute little charred key limes.
They're just little baby key limes.
Little baby key
I
limes.
love it.
Hopped on the griddle.
They're adorable.
Got his little
I love them.
little poor self charred.
I love tiny things.
So I'm going to have a bite of this, but I wanted to ask you, because we're starting to, believe it or not, we're almost out of time. But I did want to ask you, what is your #1 brunch seller so people can get an idea of things that you offer on your brunch menu?
Yeah, I definitely think that the French toast is a big one.
I chose wisely.
Yeah, you chose wisely. That's going to be, and we're doing those kind of seasonally. So I haven't quite decided what we're going to do next week. I think I might tease around with some pumpkin. I'm not
As I
sure.
said, we talked a little pumpkin.
But I also love butternut squash. So I'm thinking about doing that for September, pumpkin for October.
Ah, that's nice.
So definitely the French toast.
Okay.
Biscuits are always a huge hit.
So that was what I was torn. I was torn between two lovers.
Yeah.
The French toast or the biscuits. So describe the biscuits.
So that particular dish was, I think I called it, I don't even remember what I called it. This is the thing with rotating menus. I'm like, I don't know what I called it, but it was real good. It was a smoked salmon with actually the same rub, that brown sugar rub, smoked salmon, just kind of folded into herbed cream cheese, lots of dill, chives, and things like that. Served with heirloom tomatoes, organic greens, on a homemade buttermilk biscuit. So
Crazy.
I'm in love.
Yeah. Sounds amazing.
I'm gonna have to stalk this Cypress table thing.
Yeah. So let's get a bite of this,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about
The next time we get together,
exactly, and also how
to
folks
find-
can get
yes.
a hold of you. And definitely, we want to make sure everybody, when you guys listen to us, please try to follow our guests on their Instagrams and their Facebook pages, etc. So, do you want to how is it?
Oh, what?
All right, I'm going to do it.
So yeah, it's almost like a panna
really
cotta
fluffy.
meets cheesecake. It's kind of like panna cotta and cheesecake had a baby, an adorable key lime baby.
I could definitely see that.
That is really good.
And I'm sure you probably serve it as you did earlier, as it was more chilled.
Yep,
So it's probably a
absolutely.
little more firm.
Yep.
So, but even as it lost a little bit of firmness, it's more reminiscent of a fluffy key lime. I don't want to say meringue, but like a traditional key lime pie.
Yep.
But I could definitely see how if this was a little more firm, or frozen, like a flash freeze,
Yep.
like real quick.
Yep.
Just to again, just firm it up
Chill it out. Yep.
and serve it like that. I think it would be just dynamite.
Yep. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
love these. I mean, I try to
Well,
be
it's smart.
I try to be humble
yeah.
about food. I really am not. I left my ego with my 20s. Back in those kitchens. But this is one dessert that I just love, and I just think it smacks of Florida.
It's marvelous.
So I'm going to say this crust really is, I think it kind of makes it.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's like the differentiating factor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love the ginger and the lime together.
Yeah. It's definitely different. I love it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Very impressed.
Yes. So tell people your handles on Instagram, Facebook, how they can get a hold of you if they're interested in, where you're going to be.
Yep.
So that they can start food
Yep.
truck stalking you.
Woohoo!
And then if they're interested in doing a private event, if they're getting married, or if they want to just, hello, people, holidays are coming up.
Absolutely.
If you would like to, have Patricia over for, your private event, that's a great way to still entertain privately in your own home or whatever the case may be. So
Yep.
how about it?
So you can find me through the website, cypresstablecatering.com. There's a link to connect with me, an email link. You can find us on Instagram at cypress.table, Facebook, Cypress Table Catering. And any of those things are a great way you can contact me through any of those things, messaging and things like that. Every Monday I post the menu for the week and where I'm going to be. So
Okay, every
you actually
Monday.
have to read the whole post.
Right.
Yes.
I don't. My husband's always like, just put it onto the picture, and I was like, I can't. The picture's so pretty. I've done like text over the pictures like
Yeah.
twice, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, it's been a great episode, and please follow Space Coast Eats, eatdrinkplaybrevard.com on both of our Instagram and Facebook pages as well.
That's right. And again, we're taking next week off.
Yes.
Join us on the 17th for Captain Hiram's.
Captain
I was going to say
Hiram's?
Captain Morgan's.
Yeah.
Captain Hiram's, because all I think of Captain Hiram's is those outside bars and like hurricanes and rum runners and pina coladas and all those other favorite. I actually enjoyed a birthday not too long ago. I think it was my 39th or something.
Yeah.
There and and usually on Labor Day they have a Parrot Head Fest. So they had like Highway 51 or some other like tribute band for or Highway 1 anyway.
Yeah.
But they had like a Jimmy Buffett tribute bands all weekend long. So we would make it a stay location because you could walk right across the street to your room and no matter what kind of condition,
Yeah.
whether you remember the walk home or not.
Yeah.
So really cool. I can't wait to talk with them. So
Yeah.
tune back in for the 17th. And in the meantime, check out one of our many over 30 episodes now. So
Yeah.
check out our archive. Go back and search for different different guests and concepts. They're all there in the title. So, yeah. And if you are enjoying this podcast, make sure you do subscribe and share it with your friends. And we promise we'll love you forever.
And that is anywhere you podcast.
That's right.
Yeah,
Until next
anywhere.
time, we'll see you.